Hello, this is the TradeSite U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview for the week beginning Sunday, the 14th of July, 2024, ending Friday the 19th. By the way, this is not triple, but regular options expiration week, so and it's also the summer. We didn't really do a lot this week. There was some dip, obviously, on Thursday for a couple stocks that got hammered, and then we recovered it mostly on Friday, so it is what it is. But having said that, we do have options expiration coming up, which means the options unraveling could be Wednesday, maybe Thursday at best. And, we've got to look at Friday as being kind of a dead end, and that's usually what happens. Here's the dollar index daily chart. This thing is still sitting where it was last October. Dollar hasn't really moved anywhere, and it is what it is. Here's the euro chart, and this thing, it's a little different. Not quite the inverse of the dollar index like it used to be, but there's not much going on here. Here's the pound dollar breaking out to new highs. So, the pound getting stronger post-election over there. Good for them. Here's the ES 4-month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the broad market in futures form. So we did make new highs this week, and we made new highs even on Friday after the dip on Thursday. Here's the S&P cash. Not much here. Again, we swept new highs on Friday. We didn't make new highs. We didn't close there. NASDAQ 100, which got clobbered because Tesla and Meta and Costco were down huge, and some of these other stocks were down huge on Thursday. But, we recovered. So if this is the beginning of the end, we shall see. Obviously, the market's up a lot, and you go from last November, October, where we were at 14,000, and now we're at 21. You're talking about a 50% boost in the economy from here to there. The Russell 2000 continues to make bump, and now it's making new highs. So one of the things I always tell people is that as go banks in the small caps, so is the market. So the Russell 2000 is strangely making new highs right now. I don't know that I would get it, except for interest rates are probably about to go down. Maybe that's the answer. And if the Russell goes higher, then the rest of the market's probably going to go higher. So it is what it is. Crude oil sitting at 82.18 on the close on Friday. Not at the highs of 92, not at the lows of 66. Pretty much middle of the range, a little bit above that is what it is. Price of the pump, I drove across country recently, not the end of the world. Bitcoin closes at 57,743, or that's where it is right now because it trades 24/7. Well off the $70,000 highs. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, up as, like I said, bonds up, rates down. So I think we're starting to see this market factor in the idea that the rates are going to head lower. We did have a CPI number this week that was positive, meaning, and when I mean positive, what I mean is it was lower inflation. But we also had a PPI number that wasn't that great. So the market's still probably a little bit confused and all that. The PPI number is not as important as the CPI number. The CPI number is what everybody else feels in their checkbook. So we'll see what happens. The VIX, here's the interesting thing. Even when we collapsed on Thursday down a lot on the NASDAQ, the VIX didn't really go. We're still sitting here at 12.46. So I don't see that there's any real signs of danger here yet. We'll see. Obviously the VIX is what we watch for that. The advanced decline ratio on the New York didn't even get very negative on the day that the market went down, right? It wasn't bad. And then we popped up. And so I don't know. It was a weird day on Thursday. The market was down huge because of 7 stocks, but more stocks were up than down. Friday we were positive. Less stocks up than down. I don't know. It's weird. The trend closes the week at 1.04 or 1.13, puts the 10-day moving average at 1.04. That's nowhere near the 0.85 level. That would be a sell signal. Here's the week on the ES 4-month futures contract. So Monday, small gap up, eventually filled the gap, dead flat. Tuesday, small gap up, dead flat, almost basically filled the gap there. We did fill the gap. Wednesday, small gap up, drifted higher. Thursday, sold off. And this is what's so interesting. So everybody's like, oh, it was such a bad week. Markets were hammered. No, we closed positive for the week, right? At the end of the day, and we swept new highs on Friday. So there's just no signs yet of the market falling apart. NASDAQ 100, again, same basic story. Now, this thing was down for the week by a couple of points. And the 13 buy signal was the low of the week, which is interesting. But you can see that 13 with the arrow. But, overall, it's really nothing. Comparatively nothing. So we'll see what happens. NASDAQ volume much heavier on Friday and Saturday than it was on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. Apple at all-time highs. Amazon near all-time highs. Meta did sell off. This was one of the ones that got clocked on Thursday that hurt us. Google. And remember, here's the thing. We've actually been seeing that a lot of stocks have been dropping even when the market's been going up, but it's still the top stocks are carrying the market higher, and that's fine. And then suddenly on Thursday, we finally had the top stocks drop, but nothing else did. So it's just a rotation. It's not like actually like signs of the economy falling apart or any of that stuff. So we haven't gotten there yet. Maybe we will get there. It's fine. If we do, it's okay. Google sitting near all-time highs. Goldman Sachs sitting near all-time highs. Netflix. This thing sold off this week a bit. That's probably one of the bigger ones that sold off. Tesla also sold off. But Tesla had been so flat for so long, and for it to run up the way it did and then sell off, that is what it is. NVIDIA, I got to adjust this. I haven't done this yet. Not much there. And Zoom near lows, and for solar in mid-range for the last however many months of the year. So not much there. All right, in terms of economic data coming out this week, let's have a quick look and see what we see. We've got, sorry, I'm on the wrong week. There it is. Okay, so on Monday, Empire State Manufacturing Index at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Fed Chair Powell speaks at noon. That's fine. Tuesday, we've got the core CPI number out of Canada. We've got our retail sales number. That's at 10 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Import-export prices. Business inventories at 10 a.m. Housing index at 10 a.m. Whatever, that's fine. Wednesday, housing starts and building permits at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Industrial production capacity utilization at 9:15. Crude oil inventories at 10:30. Beige book at 2 p.m. So again, not a lot there. And then on Thursday, we've got the unemployment claims. That's the weekly number at 8:30 a.m. along with the Philly Fed manufacturing index. We've got natty gas at 10:30. Fed members speaking. Nothing really here. And on Friday, nothing. So it's kind of a light week. There's no major numbers. There's no Fed meeting. There's nothing else. Again, it's so weird to see the market so dead flat. We've got an election year, which has been obviously chaotic already. We've got the situation over in Ukraine, which is affecting inflation and causing a lot of the problems we're seeing with oil and everything else. We've got a situation in the Middle East. We've got all this stuff. And none of it seems to matter to the market at all. It's like it's acting like, oh, it's July and there's nothing going on, so summer's here and nobody's doing anything. We'll see what happens. Charts, as usual, brought to you by NinjaTrader. If you've not yet taken trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple of weeks. Have a great trading week.